Good morning. Today's coffee talk is extremely exciting because we get to have my good friend Karen Putz here, which I'm so grateful that you came. Thank you.
I'm so happy that you
Oh my gosh, like I can't even begin to describe how, and not to be like demeaning, but proud of you. I'm so happy to know you. Whenever we talk, we can't stop talking.
That's true.
We talk, and I feel like we need to meet like once a week to constantly talk. She has done more in her life than most people will ever in 3 lives. She is you're a passion advocate. She's written a book about passion, which it's called Unwrapping Your Passion. You have to look it up. She was just yesterday interviewed by AARP magazine, which there's no way you're old enough for AARP, which cracks me up.
To the younger crowd.
So she is an advocate for children and adults who have hearing loss. She has raised children that are amazing, and I hope you brag about your kids, please. She's going to tell us all about where her journey has brought her, and the best part is that she's just so inspiring, and you know, sometimes life is hard, and sometimes you can choose to have a good day or a bad day. I don't think Karen Putz has ever had a bad day.
I have.
And if you know
we
her,
all have. We're all human.
True. But you're even an artist now. She gave me a beautiful painting for my birthday. Like, oh my gosh, you are just amazing. So I'm not going to talk anymore. We're going to let Karen Putz tell her story. Here's to your coffee.
I don't drink coffee, so we're having lemon water today. So I guess I'll start with, I was born with normal hearing, and I can remember being able to hear when I'm very young. My mom was telling my siblings to watch me, and I was playing in the living room, and I heard my mom tell my sibling to not let me go into the garage. So naturally, what do you think happened? I went into the garage, and as it turned out, my brothers had uric acid on the floor, and I fell. So that's my earliest memory of being able to hear my mom from another room.
Yeah.
So I know I was born with normal hearing. Everybody in my whole family was born with normal hearing, and we all lost it in different ways. We're the only United States family with this particular gene.
Really?
So it's really, there's only 4 in the world.
So you had genetic testing. Where was it tested?
We did.
Where was your gene?
It's a mitochondrial mutation.
Yes.
And it just has a bunch of numbers.
Right. Did they send it to the University of Iowa?
That was with NIH.
NIH. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're finding more and more people. It's mitochondrial, but they don't know enough. So that's great that you all had blood work done and you sent it in for testing.
Yeah. And on one hand, it was good. We know.
Yes.
On the other hand, for some of our family members, it was hard. Because then they realized that they had the gene and they could lose more of their hearing.
Oh.
So genetic testing can be a 2-way street.
Yes.
Just never know with them.
It can cause more stress than necessary, but it can also help for for you to prepare. There are definite pros and cons. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes you don't want to know, and sometimes you need to know. Right.
So when I was growing up, I started losing my hearing right before kindergarten. Then I lost a significant amount of it when I was 7. And I got my first hearing aid when I was 9, and I hated hearing aids. Yeah. They only gave me one because they thought I was completely deaf in this ear.
Okay.
So they gave me one hearing aid for this ear, and I hated it. Absolutely, was very ashamed.
What year was that, you think?
I was 9. So that was back in the late 70s.
Okay, so the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, think about what your phone looked like in the 70s. It was big and clunky and heavy and didn't do a whole lot. Right?
And my hearing aid was big, clunky, and heavy, and also because of the kind of hearing loss I had, literally, it was down to 90 and just 1 decibel.
Wow.
And back up.
Wow.
You cannot program a hearing aid properly for that back then.
No, back then we had screwdrivers. I wasn't an audiologist back then, but it was very basic technology.
And so you can imagine it didn't fit well.
No.
Because they were trying to amplify inside at 190. So I had constant headaches, and I hated it.
Sure.
And so I hid it.
Yeah.
I never wore it.
It didn't help. Why wear something that wasn't really helping?
But it also, it just didn't fit like a glove.
Right.
Today's hearing aids, they should fit like a glove from the first fitting. And many of them do, because now we have computers programming them.
Right.
And I absolutely love it, because when I put in a new pair of hearing aids, it's like, wow. It just fits like a glove.
I like that
And it
analogy.
should.
You said
Hearing
that before.
aids today should be comfortable. They should be like, oh wow, I'm hearing some new things, and it should just be comfortable.
Right.
And if you go to Dawn,
this is not about me. This is about you. Okay, so you were 9. You didn't want to wear your hearing aid. Then what happened?
well, high school was tough. And if you can think about high school with normal hearing, think about high school with not normal hearing, and it's tough socially.
Yeah.
That is the biggest challenge for high school. If you're hearing loss, or if you're hard of hearing, and you look, like you're so normal, you're talking, why can't you hear?
Right.
So a lot of people just don't understand that you may be able to talk just like everybody else, but you can't hear like everybody else.
Right. I truly feel like it should be a school project that they require everyone to spend a day with earplugs in their ears, and then a different day with like blinders on or something. And that's the only way you can have even an ounce of empathy about how some people, their bodies change. And, the more empathy this world has, the easier it is, because you're like, oh, you couldn't hear that, here, let me repeat it for you. Or look at my face when I say this because it's really noisy in this room, right?
Right.
We should create something for we should create a campaign, or at least high school students have to go one day through school with earplugs in. Because then they'll understand about, if anyone, even you get an ear infection, that's what learning is like in a normal school environment with an ear infection, if you put earplugs in. And it's not a significant hearing loss, it's just a mild hearing loss with those earplugs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Well, it was all good. Everything that we go through shapes us.
Right.
And for me, I think it made me a better person today.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in high school, I discovered the sport of barefoot water skiing, and I loved the sport. And for those of you who have never water skied, think of it as water skiing on your bare feet.
So could you not afford, you didn't afford the ski? What happened? Why did you decide to not put skis on? I have to ask.
My older brother was a barefooter, and I thought it was just the coolest thing to be able to go around the lake barefoot water skiing with no skis on.
That's crazy.
And so I just became passionate about this sport. I loved it so much. And then one day I went out, it was a Sunday afternoon, we were getting ready to leave, and I decided to cross the lake, something I had done one time before, but this time I told my driver to really go fast. And I went way out, and I came at that wake so fast, I just tumbled over it. So when I got into the boat, I was back.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't realize it though. I thought I had water in my ear.
Oh my gosh.
My friends are talking, but I'm lip reading them, and I'm like,
Major concussion.
Didn't really think anything of it. And then that night, tinnitus set in.
Wow.
And I had tinnitus for several months after that.
Wow.
Yeah, so all I could hear was this loud whirring sound all day long. And of course, my hearing aid didn't match.
Right.
And I didn't go and get it changed, so I couldn't
Wow.
wear my hearing aid.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's an interesting time.
How old were you?
I was 19.
You were 19. So were you starting college?
I was in my second year, transferring to NIU.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been scary.
It was. There were a lot of dark nights.
Did you know anyone with a hearing loss then? You spoke of your family, but...
My family, but my best friend, one of my good friends in high school, Sean, was hard of hearing, and she wore her hearing aids privately. She tried to get me to accept it, and I couldn't. So she was my role model. She was just so confident, and it didn't bother her. She would speak up, and I was always shying away and afraid to advocate. But Sean.
Some people, you know, you're just born a certain way. Either you're so worried about what everyone else thinks, or you really don't care. And it's a learned skill for many of us to stop caring about what everyone else thinks and start feeling like we deserve this.
So she had a very different hearing loss than mine.
Okay.
So she could use the phone. I couldn't.
Yeah.
She could manage group situations. I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
There was a difference there.
Yeah.
And she had much more hearing than I could.
Right.
At that point.
Yeah. Understandable.
And I was hard of hearing at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So you went to NIU. What's your background? What did you learn?
I actually wanted to be a nurse. And career counselor was like, you know, how are you going to hear the doctor? What if you don't understand the patient? And how are you going to use the phone? And when he said that, it was like, oh. So I switched to counseling. And I had my master's and bachelor's in counseling.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much sense
You need
now.
free therapy. Just kidding.
There is a need, actually, for therapists who specialize in hearing loss.
So I should just add that to the many other things.
Right. I mean,
what's one more?
Right? Or you should, you know, maybe teach other therapists about what the trials and tribulations might be. There's a psychologist near Harvard, Michael Harvey. Do you know of him?
I've heard of him.
He's written a few books, and he tells stories of those that he's worked with and how hearing loss can cause stress on family dynamics.
It does, and we never talk about it.
No.
We never talk about that stress that being hard of hearing, being deaf brings. For some people, it's the stressor in their life. It's the one thing that they, from morning to night, they deal with. And for other people, it's just a small part of them. They figured it out, they managed it, they moved on. And it's different for everyone.
Absolutely. Two people can have the same level of hearing loss, but it depends on where they are in their life and who's with them. And so, like, if you had gone into nursing school and become a nurse, your life, your path might have been less happy and stressful because it wasn't working for you. Or there's some people that they have the same hearing loss, but no one gets it. And you're not surrounded by people who understand, right? And so I have a lot of patients who their family is almost yelling at them, asking them, why didn't they hear that? Aren't they wearing their hearing aids? And they don't understand that sometimes the hearing is that bad that we can't give back everything. And they need to have even a small ounce of empathy or sympathy and help. Because no one does that with blindness. No one says, aren't you wearing your glasses?
Squint a little bit
You're
harder,
squinting. Here,
please.
can you read this? This fine print's too small. They don't yell at them about, aren't you wearing your glasses? And we need to educate others about sometimes we can't bring back what you were born with. Or some people weren't born with perfect hearing. And that's okay.
And here's the other thing to think about is the brain that hears. So you can have people with two exact same audiograms and they will have very different life responses and experiences. The audiograms are a wonderful tool, but they're also just one part of what people live with every day. So using an audiogram and expecting something different, it may not fit that person. So the other thing, I wanted to go back to the nurse thing, and it's really interesting because years later after graduating, I met a nurse who works at the ER at a local hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's deaf. And then I met a deaf doctor, and then I met a hard of hearing nurse who assists in surgery. There are over 200 doctors, nurses, people in the medical profession, and it's growing because there's a huge need. So a lot of times we think it limits. Oh, you're deaf, you can't do this or you can't do that. And when we shift the focus, like this woman who works in the ER, she's been there for years, the doctors know her, she could almost read the doctors, and she's ready with the medicine before they even ask for it. Because she's dialed in intuitively with her eyes and what she knows she doesn't depend on her ears. And the doctors love her there.
I'm sure.
So we often have to shift our thinking to the can instead of the can't.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you
We've
wish?
got audiologists.
Yes, I know a few. Yes,
That thing hard of being audiologists.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and they're awesome. There's nothing that can stop you if you've chosen where your path is leading you. So can you tell us about that? So this is why I'm surprised that she is a counselor, but not because it makes sense as to why she can.
Nobody's
Do what she does.
Background.
But tell us. Go ahead, brag. So what are the one of many projects that you have been working on or you have worked on? You were on the Today Show a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you on the Today Show in New York City?
Oh, Today Show, that was fun. I was on the Today Show because 10 years before that, my husband sent me a link to the Today Show. And on the Today Show with this 66-year-old woman who was barefoot water skiing. And at that time, wasn't captioned. I didn't need the captions. I could just see this big smile of joy on this 66-year-old woman's face. And I'm like, I want that joy again. So I contacted her. Her name is Judy Myers, and she got me back on the water along with the world barefoot champion, Kid St. Ange. And it just changed my life. Just watching that one episode and knowing that if a 66-year-old woman could barefoot water ski, and at that time I was 44, what was stopping me? Nothing. And for many of us in the second half of our life, in the second journey of our life, we tend to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't be slowing down. We should be ramping it up.
Yeah.
You know, we have more time, we have more energy, we have more knowledge in the second half of our life, and we should be tapping into that.
I'm 44. Should I start barefoot water skiing this year?
Absolutely. Come tomorrow.
No thanks. There's this thing called fear, and it is what's stopping me from doing a lot of things, and I think a lot of people feel that way.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think our mental monsters are our biggest limiter.
Fear is a mindset. And the good thing about fear is that the only way around it is smack dab right through it. Right through it.
Right.
So the thing that you fear most is actually the thing that you should be doing, and you should be getting your mind in this place where you can just go right through it and do it. Because often behind fear is what you really want.
Mm. And is that what you talk about in your book?
Mm-hmm. I do. I have a section on fear. And we all have fears within us. I mean, when we grow up, I think they escalate. Because we become adults, we forget our carefree days of being a child. We're bogged down by mortgages and bills and routines. So it's very easy for us to lose passion and embrace fear. But when we embrace the fear and we live with the fear, it just escalates in our life. So we have to have a mindset shift over to the passion, the joy, the bliss, the simple moments in your life. Go back, look back in your past and figure out, what did you do that brought you joy when you were younger? The things that you're thinking about for Sunday, for the future, why are you putting them off? Think about that.
Don't you have is it a course? What is it? You have a membership program for finding your passion?
Unwrap Your Passion, which
Unwrap
is
Your
modeled after my book.
Yes.
And it's actually the action piece from my book.
So you coach people to follow their passion.
Mm-hmm. And it's not so much follow their passion, it's unwrapping it. Passion is a gift within us. We are born with that gift. And it's up to us to actually unwrap it. For some of us, we have to unwrap it a little deeper than others.
And it really feels good for you to help others, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's simple. Like, I had one woman who literally woke up and realized her passion was dancing. She was in her mid-60s, divorced, had long ago abandoned dancing. Literally that very week, she signed up for lessons. And she's been dancing for 1 year since. And it's just amazing to see the smiles and the joys on her Facebook page. Just because she's tapping into her passion. It doesn't have to be a big grand thing. It can be something as simple as signing up for something that you used to do when you were a child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get to be a Southwest Airlines blogger, if any of us wanted to do that? Because she did. She got to fly around the country for a year, and she was chosen as one of 10 people. Is that right?
11, yeah.
11,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because you must have a blog. So what were you blogging about that
I actually wasn't a blogger. I was a brand ambassador for them, a social ambassador.
A social
And I
ambassador.
happened to blog a few experiences.
And it was because you were going around the country barefoot water skiing. Did you go to all 50 states?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. I've done 17.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I'd
But
see you
part of it
fly
came
around.
about is, because I have what I call a life list, and I always encourage people to create their own life list. And one day I just wrote, Southwest is my sponsor on that life list. And there's power in taking your ideas out of your head and putting them in writing. You may think, oh, whether in my head, I'll always remember them. You won't. I promise me, you won't. Get them down, get them in writing, and then the next step is to start taking action. So I would tweet, I wrote them letters, I sent them cards. I built a relationship with Southwest. And that's something that I also teach in another course, Get Paid to Play. But I teach people how to nurture those relationships so that they can become brand ambassadors. And it's just great working with companies who are 100% behind you and you love the product so much that you would gladly promote it for free.
Right. And again, it's all about just having fun, right? And just being
It is.
authentic. The number one way to be authentically yourself is to do what you love, isn't it?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So any other courses that you have?
So what are you doing this summer?
What am I doing this?
What are you doing for fun this summer?
Okay, so we're going to go to Tennessee with my husband's family. His cousin found a cabin in the middle of Tennessee, and there's going to be like 50 of us. And
oh, those are the best.
yeah, so we'll
Vacation
remember
days.
this vacation for a very long time. Yes.
You'll
And
have fun.
And my one friend has coached me on making sure I have a big stick when I go running in the mornings. And if I find a bear, I'm going to get really big and go, "Roar!" so it doesn't eat me. Because apparently the bears are everywhere. So that's what I'm doing this summer.
Talk about facing your fear.
But
Go
yeah,
for it.
I have been working on some things where I'm hoping to help the world, and hopefully you can help me too. We've talked about some things, and I've been moving forward with it because I think there's a lot of need out there, and there is a lot of neglect in many ways. And I think that we had a conversation one day, and we just couldn't stop talking. But she's encouraged me to drive forward and try to put into act what's been in my head. And yeah, maybe by Christmas you'll see what's up. So I'm working on it. But you inspire me. I love you. I think you're fantastic. I follow her on Facebook, and I'm like, I can't believe I know her.
I can't believe I know this amazing audiologist.
I am nothing compared to you. So
Never make yourself smile. There's a word called Genshai, Genshai, Genshai,
okay.
and it means to never make yourself feel small or anybody else.
Or anyone
Out of that
else. I
space
love that.
in yourself and in others.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So cheers.
Coffee time, water
Coffee
time.
talk, water time. So if you have any questions, you can type them below. You can, hey Mary, we see you're watching. Who else is on there? Hi Angela. If you have questions from either of us, just ask. If you want to check out Karen's book or her courses, what's the name of your website?
It is KarenPutz.com. KarenPutz.com.
So you can also unleash your passion, unwrap it, we should say,
Yeah.
and follow her because she is amazing. And yeah, oh, by the way, she happens to have a hearing loss, big deal. You know, I know that it's something that you have worked hard to every day overcome and educate people about. And she's a huge advocate for the kids and the parents with Hands and Voices.
Yeah, I work for Hands and Voices part-time, and I love that, working for that organization, just working with families.
And then you lecture at different levels, and hopefully we can get you at the American Academy of Audiology
That would be
to
awesome.
teach, you know, audiologists about, you know, a different perspective on things. We can all learn from each other. And I am so grateful for you to come today and to tell your story. Is there anything that we missed out? Is there any one last piece?
So I can tell you that today I love my hearing aids. I love them. I mean, in the morning when I put them on, I'm very grateful that I have them. I love my deaf identity, but I also love that the hearing aids give me access to my world in different ways.
So if you have any questions, just let us know. But we'll see you next month at the next coffee talk. We have someone he was a little worried about telling a story, and then he came to me and goes, I'm ready. I'm going to tell my story. So the more we talk about this, the less
stigma we have.
Stigma is, and taboo and all that. Why people aren't talking about their hearing is beyond me.
You know, I do have one story that I think we could wrap up with.
Okay.
And this is my best friend Sharon. Her mom needed hearing aids, and for literally over a year, she was just like, no. And she tried a pair of hearing aids that did not fit her like a glove. And so I said to my best friend, I said, come see Dawn, because hearing aids should fit like a glove. And the happy ending to it is that her mom did come and get those hearing aids that fit like a glove, and she wears them every day, and she's thankful for them. And I'm thinking there's so many others out there who may be thinking, no, I don't want to wear hearing aids, or they're stigmatized by them. And find a good audiologist and give it a trial. You'll be surprised at how much your hearing awakens.
And then they're honestly even a small bit happier because there's less arguments. You don't have to worry about, you know, safety as much. You know, to be able to hear when someone is knocking on your door or breaking in your house, God forbid.
Well, often people don't realize what they are not
Missing.
hearing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you get so
True.
used to it after a while.
Exactly. So, like she said, you can try hearing aids. Many audiologists allow it. Our office requires it, that you try them first. So, you guys have a wonderful day. I hope this has ignited some passion in you to go back. I love that. Think about what you loved as a child. What did you stop doing and you wish you could do it again? That means I'm going skiing this winter.
Wow. I'm going to hold you to that.
Okay. So we'll have to plan a trip to Colorado, right? Come up to New York. All right. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.